Welcome back to That's Your Business podcast, where maybe your opinion and not your business. So I'm Geno, your co-host of That's Your Business podcast, and I wanted to speak with the viewers today about the month of June, which is Pride Month. So in the month of June is when we celebrate Pride for the LGBTQIA community, and I am a part of the community as well. I am a man who is gay within the community, and I just wanted to speak with you all today about my story and about my journey to be where I am today. So I know that for me, navigating through my sexuality, from what I recall, started really in 2015. So I did start at that time. I was in grad school, and I think that I did also have, I had attractions before then to men, but I kind of would suppress it in a way. I think that a lot of times, growing up, you kind of like suppress different different things, and you don't really talk about it with anybody. It's not like I would go and run to somebody and say, hey, I checked a guy out today. I thought that they were attractive or something. Like, it wasn't something that I felt comfortable talking about as a teen, in my teen years. But I didn't really have like a full attraction to men, I know, until really 2015 is when it started. And I downloaded one of the apps, I forget which one it was, but downloaded one of the apps, and I would just talk to different guys, hey, what's been your experiences, and just really just talking to guys and getting their perspective on things, and and I would never talk to anybody that was openly in the community, because at the time I was discreet, so I didn't want to really talk to somebody that I knew was openly in the community, and it just became a point where, I think over time it's all right, this is tiring. I'm talking to people that are down low discreet, that, you really can't make a solid connection with somebody on a discreet level, and there was a lot of layers to it. It was a lot of stress, and it never really aligned with me. I think it was just something that, you talk and you try to navigate through, and it's kind of like trauma bonding in a way too, because that person doesn't want to be outed, you don't want to be outed, so it's kind of like you trauma bond together, and you talk about different things and you feel comfortable with that person. But then again, it's not going nowhere. It wasn't going anywhere. So, but regardless, I didn't make that a priority in my life. In my 20s, I was really just focused on my career. I was focused on getting through my bachelor's, my associates, my bachelor's. Then I went into grad school in 2015. So, and I technically was still in my 20s at that time. I don't know what exact age I was in 2015, if I'm 33 now, but I do know that it just also, my older brother is a part of the community as well. So he actually did let my mom know that he was gay in 2015. So, and during that time, I was figuring stuff out. I was like, damn, I can't really talk about this now. I feel like I couldn't have, because I didn't really feel fully confident in it. And I know that when he did let my mom know he was gay, it was just my mom had a hard time at first understanding, well, when did this come on? When did you feel this way? You know what I mean? And it kind of, I know she was just trying to understand, and I think that we all said to my brother, we love you, we support you, and that's always been a fact. It's just at that time, it really wasn't talked about a lot. We didn't really discuss it a lot. I didn't really say to him, hey Dom, how you feeling, and stuff like that. Like, do you want to talk about anything? And I just think at that time it was different. And my older sister is a part of the community as well, but she didn't really let my mom know that she was gay and identified as lesbian. But it kind of was just like, she just, said like, hey, I'm going out with this girl. Like, it was very casual, and I love her for that. I think that, really, to be honest with you, I think that we think we should let people know if we are gay and stuff like that, and like just a part of the community, and I think it's great, but also it doesn't really need to be this big, like quote unquote coming out process. And I just think that maybe I felt like I needed to put emphasis on it because I didn't let everybody know that I was gay for, from 2015, it was like literally 8 years that I didn't really like let anybody know that I was interested in men, that I was like navigating through my own process and not talking about it with anybody. I didn't talk about it with any of my family or my friends. I mean, I talked about it with literally strangers on apps. Like, hey, like, how's your process been? Like, I just feel like I'm getting tired of this. And, and I would just talk to different guys about that on the apps. And they'd be like, yeah, like, I just kind of don't even think about it or whatever. And there's only so much suppressing you can do. Like, and it's so true when they say, what you don't reveal, you can't heal. And it's a fact. That's a known fact. And I just think that it feels so much better letting people know that you are letting people know about your sexuality, letting people know this is who you are. This is a part of who you are. It's not everything. Your sexuality isn't everything. It's not. But it is a part of who you are. And it does make it easier to talk to people and connect with people and connect with your friends and your family in a lighter way, because you're presenting to the world as your most authentic self. And I think that that's so important. And I don't regret any part of my process. Like, for me, I winded up letting people know that I was gay at 31. I think it was May of 2023. It had to be May of 2023. I let my friends and family know that I was gay. So at first I texted my older brother first. I sent him a text. It was in May of 2023. It was like late May, almost at the end, near June. It was near Pride Month. It was almost close to it. And I winded up letting my brother know. I texted him. I sent him this long text. I don't even remember what the text said because I asked him to delete it afterwards, because I just didn't want to keep it on my phone. I wanted to get it out and delete it. And I remember saying to him, like, I just wanted to let you know that I am gay. I love you. And I just, I really would appreciate your support and everything like that. And he called me right away. Like, as soon as I sent it, he called me. And I just remember being so, like, I was very emotional. And I just, wow, like, he just said to me, he said, gee, I love you. I'm here for you. I support you. I'm so happy that you felt comfortable to talk to me about this. Everybody who knows you loves you. And like, this is a part of who you are, but also, like, everybody still loves you. Nothing changes. And he was so right when he said that. And I think of the words he said and how he said it to me, and it's like the most heartfelt thing ever. And I love him to death. And I still get emotional about that, because I think that what a blessing it is to have family that is so supportive of me. And I know that I am forever grateful for that, because we all, it's so important to have that community behind you and that empowerment, but you also have to find that empowerment within yourself too. And I think that people do find a way to do that, and you find a way to really, because although you may have that support from family, you also have to find that power within yourself to rise up and say, like, this is who I am. I love myself. I love every part of me. And that's the most important thing. But when I did let him know that I was gay, I said, all right, let's call mommy. So like, we're three-waying my mom on the phone. I'm sitting like in my kitchen petting the dog, and I had her on the three-way, and I'm like, Mom, I have to tell you something. And she was like, what? What's the matter? Like, please. So, and then I was like, all right, I gotta tell you. She's like, well, what is the matter? I said, I just wanted to let you know I'm gay. And she was like, oh my God, all right. She said, I mean, I don't give a fuck. She said, I love you to death. Like, as long as you're okay. She said, I thought something bad happened, like, and she said, I love you. I don't care about, as long as you're happy, as long as you're healthy, as long as, I just want you to be happy, and I want you to find a partner to walk through life with that loves you and respects you. And that was just like, I said, Mom, thank you so much. I said, I just feel like it was hard to talk to you about this. I said, because I know that Dominic did wind up letting you know he was gay in 2015, and it was a whole process, and you needed time to like process things. And I know that you of course love us and everything, but it also, for parents, it's a whole different process for them, and I can't think about what they go through. But I also said to my mom, I said, I have to do what's right for me, and I feel like I wanted to let you know before I started to go on dates and stuff like that with men. And I just want you to love me and support me through my journey. And that's really it. And she said, of course I will. You're my son. Like, I love you unconditionally. So then I winded up talking to my older sister. She was like, oh, I love you. That's fine. She said, I think that's great. Like, thanks for letting me know. And then I told my twin sister, I called her at like 11 at night or 11:30. I said, Moore, are you up? She's like, yeah, what's going on? I said, Moore, I just wanted to let you know that I'm gay. She was like, oh, okay, hon. Well, I gotta go to bed. I got work tomorrow. I love you, hon. We'll talk tomorrow. And she hung up. That was the funniest part, because it was just like, and then I just remember myself being like, wow, I just told everybody. Basically, I just told everybody. I told my stepdad that same week. And he was like, I love you. He said, I don't care. He said, as long as you're happy, like, and he gave me a big hug. He's the best. And then I winded up telling like my best friends. I called them, let them know. I talked to a couple on the phone, talked to a couple in person. I said, I just want to let you know that I am gay, and I want to be able to talk to you guys openly about things, and I am going to start dating, all this stuff. So, and then I ended with my dad at the end of the week. So I went to my dad's house on Sunday in person. And I think that was like, for me, the most difficult, to talk to him, and especially to go to him in person. I just felt like, I don't know. I mean, I just went to him, and he was boiling macaroni for Sunday dinner, and I said to him, I want to tell you something. He said, what's going on? And I said, I just want to let you know I'm gay. And it wasn't mad or anything. He said, well, why do you feel like you can't tell me things, and you feel like you can't talk to me? I said that I just know that the way you process certain things is a little different. And I said, I just want to let you know this is who I am, and I am going to start dating. I said, and I am going to start going out on dates and stuff. And I wanted to give you guys that. I just felt like, for me, it was like I wanted to give my friends and family that common ground, so they all knew that, like, listen, I'm going on dates, I'm talking to men, and I'm going to, pursue a relationship potentially with a man if things progress. If there's however many dates, or how, but get establishing a connection and all that stuff. So I just felt like I wanted to do that for myself, from my perspective, because I didn't want to have to be out on a date and then somebody said like, oh, I saw you with this guy, you know. No. I wanted to make sure my home base knew, the people that meant the most to me knew. I didn't, and then even though it was an entire year where my first Pride that I went to was in 2024. I actually went to Pride in 2024, last year. And my mom came, my twin sister came after work. My older brother was there with us. My older sister was, my mom came. Did I say my mom already? I don't know. But it meant so much that my mom came to that, you know, to the Pride Parade and to be with us and be a part of that. Like, I think just to have my whole family there and have that support means the world to me. And even to this day, like, I can talk to everybody about everything now, and there's no stone left unturned. And it's just, I feel so much lighter, you know, from letting people know that I was gay. Like, from that point in time, 2 years ago, it's like so much has changed. But then again, my heart stayed the same, you know. I'm still the same person. I've always been the same kind, compassionate, loving person all my life. Yes, I know sometimes we get a little elevated about things, or we're passionate when we talk about something, and but also that's a part of like who I am too. Like, you know, being Italian, being from South Philly, like, we talk with our hands, we're very expressive when we talk, but we also have very genuine souls. Like, I know how I show up for myself alone is so genuine and authentic that I love who I am today. And I think that it's very vulnerable for me to even talk about this on camera with viewers, you know, but then again, it's also very healing at the same time, because I'm not hiding any part of myself. And I don't have any regrets about my process of letting people know that I am gay and I'm in the community. I think that it happened the way it needed to happen for me, on my timeline, for myself. And I think that anybody who is listening to this can also attest to this episode, to realize that you have to do things on your time, when it's right for you and when the stars align for you. And also, it may be a little uncomfortable at first, but growth does happen outside of your comfort zone. So we are so used to being so routine, and this and that, and I'm a very routine person. Like, even with a lot of things, I like to even keep my house in order. I like things a certain way. But I also think that this whole process for me, like letting people know that I am gay and being out in the dating world, and all of it is new for me. It's a whole different ball game. And yes, it's been 2 years now, but still, it's very much new, you know. And you learn things about other people. You learn different nuances, and all I can do, I know, is be open, honest, and direct. And I know I am every day of the week. I have no reason not to be, you know. But I think at the same time, it's hard for some people. Like, even with some guys, it's like some people get intimidated by that. Like, they are very intimidated by the fact that if you're very open and you're very direct, people are like not used to that. They're used to people playing games. They're used to people tiptoeing. I don't do none of that. I present as myself. What you see is what you get. And I know, regardless of that, I don't get all caught up in that, because I know how I show up for me and how I show up for my friends with love, respect, kindness, compassion means the world to me. And I know it means the world to the people I love. So if somebody wants to come into my life and add value to my life with authenticity, with respect, kindness, compassion, who's family oriented, who has a good head on their shoulders and like has a good perspective on life, then of course you can have a seat, you know? But at the same time, I know I'm good with me. Even like meeting friends within the community, like a part of the LGBTQIA community, if it comes along and it happens, you know? I've made efforts to like, you know, make connections and stuff, and I think it's great. I joined Stonewall Sports. I did the bocce one, I did the trivia one. I did bocce twice and I did trivia once. And I think it was really good to do that. I mean, I loved it. You meet different people, and it's just great to have that sense of community as well. And then, you know, also just having my home base of my friends that I've been friends with all my life be a part of my journey and loving me through all my phases has been such a beautiful thing too, because even this year, 2025, going to the Pride Parade, a couple of my friends came as well. They came to the Pride Parade too, and it was really special, you know, just to have that continuous support and love means so much. And I know that there is always going to be somebody out there that is going to support you. Even if you have one person in your life that supports you through your life and loves you unconditionally, it's so important. And some people have chosen family too, where maybe their family might not accept that they're within the LGBTQIA community, but you may have like a friend who is so loving to you and their family extends that love to you too. So there is always a sense of community, and that's so important. And really how you see yourself is the most important thing of all, and of this entire process. And I think that even though I am a man within the gay community, I also am a brother, a good son, a great friend. I am a godfather, and I'm a dog dad. I am an occupational therapist. I'm a part of the community in general, and I'm also human at the end of the day too. That's why I have this shirt on, and I love this shirt. This is from American Eagle, and it says human because it's the truth. You know, like at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all navigating through life. We're all trying to pay bills. We're all trying to make it. So love who you love. Be with who you want to be with. Live out loud. Live proud. And be the most authentic version of yourself every day, and bet on yourself every day, because no one is going to look out for you the way you look out for you. And it's important to be kind to yourself, and also love every part of yourself, and be forgiving to yourself as well. Like, you can't think about the past. You can only think about the present and where you see yourself going in the future. So I think that it's just been a really great journey so far, and I love this. I love my 30s. I think my 30s has been just a wonderful ride, and I'm just going with the flow, you know, and I'm doing what's true to me. Do what's true to you every day of the week, 24/7, 365. And I have my hat on too. This is why I wore my apparel tonight, because this says keep it proud. My twin sister actually made these hats. I love these hats, and it has the pride colors on it, and it says keep it proud. And that to me means keep it proud. What it mean? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, be proud of yourself. Be proud of where you are today, and stay motivated. Keep it pushing, and worry about your business. And that's that. And if somebody has an opinion that you may not be fond of, that's their business. Okay, that's why we have this podcast. Because really, their opinion of you is none of your business. How you see yourself means everything. So they can say what they want to say, because at the end of the day, they're probably not happy with themselves. They're probably not confident in themselves or in their approach. And I think that really, fuck them. Fuck them at the end of the day. I don't know if this will get flagged or not. I quite frankly don't give a fuck. All I know is that the people that I associate with and the people that are in my life love me and care about me, and that's all that matters. Everything else, if there's opinions, this, that, that's all background noise. That's not my business. And I don't really care. Because I know I stand on business 24/7, 365, and I love who I am. So, I also wanted to add that if somebody does come to you and let you know that they are gay, the best thing that you could say to somebody who is, and they come to you and talk to you about this information, is to say to them, I love you, I'm here for you, and I support you. And thank you for coming to me with sharing this part of yourself, and thank you for trusting me with this. Because it is, you're letting people know your identity and letting people know about yourself, and it is a big thing for somebody to feel comfortable enough to talk with somebody else about that and to share that information. So I think being kind, being respectful, and providing a safe space for somebody to be able to talk to you is very important. And I also want to just say that for me, present day, I think it's been such an amazing journey in my process of letting people know that I'm gay. Also, I think that just so many conversations are easier, it's lighter, I feel lighter, I feel very empowered, and it's been an amazing journey. And I did even doing the Broad Street run for my birthday, running into 33 years old. It was such a rewarding thing to make a goal, stick to that goal, and see to it. And I think it's just me being the most confident version of myself at 33 years old in my life. And then also in the beginning of Pride Month, June 1st, there was a run, and I did a 9-mile run in the morning, and I ran into Pride Month, So it was very rewarding. It just feels like an intrinsic motivation and reward that I choose myself every day, and I live my best life. And I think that anybody watching could resonate with that, because viewers of all backgrounds can watch this, and this can resonate with them, because it isn't just about being authentic in your sexuality, it's just being authentic and loving and accepting just in general, being a decent human being. That's all it takes. And we all are channeling through our own journey, and we're in our own lane. But you also want to be kind to yourself along the way, and give yourself positive affirmations along the way, because you do deserve it. You are worthy, you are lovable, and you matter to everybody in your life. So I want you to take that message with you and handle things with kindness, with love, and with patience. And be you. That's it. So thank you all for tuning in to episode 4 of That's Your Business podcast. Take care and have a good night.